Hello, I'm Simon Whistler, you're watching TopTenzNet, and in the video today we're looking at the top 10 things that are better than sex. Number 10. Housework.
Over 30% of women surveyed claimed that cleaning gives them more satisfaction than sex. These are the results of a survey of 2,000 women for the National Housework Survey of Great Britain 2006. Regarding this survey, the Independent Daily reported that even in an age when women are making economic strides and excelling in the workplace, the one thing that gives the majority a sense of empowerment is a good go around the house with the vacuum cleaner, followed by some cleaning and dusting. These must be the same women who don't find Mr. Muscle or the brawny paper towel guy the least bit distracting. I mean, who wouldn't want a good go around with one of those guys?
Number 9. Dating a vampire.
Fans of the book or movie Twilight know that you can't have sex with your vampire boyfriend or he will probably kill you in a passionate fit. But you're willing to make that sacrifice because you love him so much. He's so wonderful that it's all worth it. He's extremely handsome, drives an expensive car, and he actually glitters in the sunlight. Now, what teen girl isn't a sucker for glitter? Did I mention that he might sneak into your bedroom and stare at you all night while you are sleeping, or that he's condescending, emotionally distant, and rather sarcastic? Oh, and his body is ice cold, he's murdered people in the past, and his friends and family instinctively want to drink your blood? But I don't care, Mum. He's dreamy.
Number 8. Weight loss.
According to a survey done at AOLhealth.com, 26% of the mums who participated would rather lose 10 pounds than have more sex. Even more of them, 30%, would rather make more money. Not surprising, since you don't actually get paid anything to be a mum.
Number 7. Music.
According to findings from a survey conducted by Marrakesh Records, music is hugely important. 60% of 16 to 24-year-olds would rather go without sex than music for a week. This increases to 70% for 16 to 19-year-olds. Okay, I now have this whole teen sex abstinence thing figured out. The RIAA, the Recording Industry Association of America, should only prosecute pregnant teens and their boyfriends for downloading music illegally. Once a few kids are prosecuted and the word gets around, teen pregnancies will decrease. Of course, music downloading may increase.
Number 6. In vitro fertilization, IVF.
On the opposite side of the sex spectrum, I propose that IVF is better than sex if you're trying to get pregnant. Why take your chances with the genetic lottery system that is lovemaking when you can go embryo shopping with in vitro fertilization, IVF? With IVF, you can get pre-implantation genetic diagnosis, PGD, described in an article written by William Sailton at Slate.com as a technique for weeding out flawed embryos. At first, PGD was used to identify and reject embryos that had fatal infant diseases. It was also only offered to high-risk couples. But now it's being used to select an embryo based on a much wider scope of criteria: gender, non-fatal diseases, and disorders. Just imagine what the possibilities are going to be in the future: hair color, IQ, athleticism, etc. Now, why would any practical and wealthy person choose to have a baby the old way, where you don't know what you're going to get, when you can create your own custom kit? Think of the children. Is it fair to send your natural spawn to school with a bunch of genetic super kids?
Number 5. Sports.
The term better than sex is described as a euphoric experience, often food-related, quite similar to an orgasm, usually used by women, as for most men, there is nothing better than sex. That's from Urban Dictionary. Nothing except sports, that is. Why sports are better than sex? Number 1, people watch and cheer when you score. Number 2, if people don't like your team, you can wait until your contract ends and then play someone else. Number 3, you can count on it all season. Number 4, you can watch it going on in your local bar. 5, it lasts over an hour and might even go into overtime. 6, you can have a couch on the sidelines while you are doing it. 7, action replays. 8, protective equipment that can be washed and reused. Apparently, a lot of people have spent a lot of time coming up with lists of reasons why various sports are better than sex. I guess if you're not getting any, then you do have the spare time.
Number 4. Sleep.
According to the Sleep Well website based out of Stanford University, there are at least 10 reasons why sleep is better than sex. Among them, sleep can last a good 8 hours or more, and while sleeping, you can have sex with anyone you want. UK newspaper The Independent reported that almost 80% of Britons prefer a good night's sleep to sex. This comes from a study conducted by the Edinburgh Sleep Centre, where 79.2% of over 8,500 people admitted they preferred the thought of extra sleep to sex. Of course, this could be one of those win-win situations. If you make sleep your priority at night, that might give you more energy for all sorts of activity during the day.
Number 3. Food.
Food wins out over sex in so many ways. Most obviously because you can order it in or enjoy it all by yourself without being judged. There are 326 recipes called Better Than Sex Cake at Cooks.com alone. There is also one recipe at the same site called Almost Better Than Sex Cake. I'm guessing that this is by the one home chef who has actually sampled both.
Number 2. Cell phones.
A survey conducted by Dial-A-Phone, a cell phone retailer in the UK, reported that 24% of women, but 0% of men, would rather give up sex than their mobile phone for a month. That's from itwire.com. This makes sense, since I'm sure at least 24% of women have realized that a cell phone is better than a man or woman, if that's your thing.
Number 1. The Internet.
According to Judy Motti's article, The Internet Better Than Sex, an Intel-sponsored survey found that 46% of women and 30% of men would rather abstain from sexual activity for 2 weeks than go without internet access for the same time frame. The percentage spikes higher to 49% for women ages 18 to 34 years old and to a whopping 52% for 35 years old to 44 years old.
So I really hope you found that video interesting. If you did, please do give us a like below and don't forget to subscribe. Also check out some of our other videos which are over there on the right. One is the top 10 things that you didn't know about sex, and below that we've got the top 10 myths about sex. So be sure to check both of those out. Be sure to like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.